Hi. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at the syllabus, kind of hit some of the highlights that I'd like to point out to you. Now, of course, you've got the syllabus, so you can read it, so I'm not going to just read it along with you. You can do that on your own, but there's a few points I want to make sure I emphasize as we start the semester. So first is my contact information at the top of the syllabus. Email me. Email is the best way to get hold of me. So again, you've got my email address here. I get lots and lots and lots of emails every day, and once you fall off that top 50, it may take a while to resurface. So if you email me and I don't get back to you in a day or two, email me again. I'm not someone that is bothered if someone pokes me again. That's fine. So but again, email is the best way to get hold of me. Our textbook. I will have office hours on Zoom. I will not have office hours in my office. So here's the Zoom URL, and I'll send that out as we go into the semester as well, just to remind you. Our textbook is Coladarchi and Cobb, the 4th edition. Make sure you get the 4th edition. I've sent this out before, but again, make sure you get the textbook. It's a good book. Students consistently tell me they like the book. I've tried lots of stat books over the years. Hands down, I think this is the one the students have liked the most. I don't always agree with some of the way things are presented or some of the order that things are presented, and we'll talk about that a little bit over the course of this semester, but it's a great book. Assignments, there are 8 assignments, each worth 50 points, so there are a total of 400 points that you can have. Questions can be anything. I'm not going to have long, giant essays, but it can involve everything from true and false all the way to doing calculations. Here's a bunch of numbers, calculate some things called standard deviations and variance, and we'll talk about that later. So there will be calculations that you'll need to do, and there'll be answers, written answers, maybe a paragraph kind of describing something that we've learned. Make sure when you're writing out answers, make sure your writing is clear and readable. Make sure that sentences are coherent and make sense, that it's kind of clear what you're trying to say. Every once in a while, I will be in the painful position that I'm telling a student, I know you've written some stuff here, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't understand what you're trying to say, so I can't give you the points. Write well when you're writing. I encourage you to work in small groups. I think studying together is a great way to approach statistics. You can bounce ideas off each other. If you have questions, you can ask each other. You can all give your own way of trying to explain some of these things that we're learning. And it's just a good way sometimes just to bounce around that this is what I think this means. What do you guys think? And see if everyone agrees. Do not do each other's work. That's cheating. So don't do that. But if someone has a question, approach it as a teachable moment. Don't just say, oh, the answer is 4.2. No, work with them to try to help them to see how to solve that problem. Okay? I think you appreciate the difference between just kind of doing the work for someone, just giving the answers to someone, versus working together, collaboratively sharing what you're thinking along the way. Points for success. My grading is kind of a straight 90, 80, 70 with pluses and minuses kind of built in. Suggestions. Stay caught up. Don't fall behind. It can be very difficult to catch up later. Assignments will be due throughout the semester, so if you fall too far behind, in a few weeks you're going to be panicking. So stay caught up. It's better to study regularly a little bit every day than try to cram it all in once every week or two. So stay caught up as you go along. Print out the slides and use them as study guides. You'll notice for most of the videos, I have also attached a PDF with slides associated with that for review. These slides take me a lot of work. Take advantage of them, and use them as study guides. That's what I've designed them for. Sometimes there's extra detail in it to so that you can use it as a detailed study guide. Print them out before you watch the video and have them with you when you're watching the video so that you can take notes directly on them as you go along. Again, the students tell me the slides are extremely helpful, extremely valuable. So make sure you print those off and use them as your study guides. If you want extra problems, work on the end of chapter problems. There's some that are starred that have the answers just to kind of check your knowledge as you're going along. Same with problems that appear in the book. Actually try to solve them just to make sure you understand, okay, this is how I'm supposed to do something. If you have questions, ask them. I love talking about statistics. I am happy to talk about statistics. So if you've got a question, you can, come to office hours, email it to me, post it in one of the forums. That's great. Please don't hesitate. Submit your material early. You will notice, yes, don't wait till the last minute. I see students and it's all timestamped, so I can see it's 11:53 and someone's trying to submit something. Submit early because problems can come up, and as we'll see in a minute, that's unfortunate. Submit early. You should be submitting at least a week before the due date. Well, let's actually move into that, kind of the policy on assignments. All assignments have to be turned in by 11:59 p.m. on the Friday of the week they're due. And I mean 11:59 p.m. It has to be in by that point. You will email the assignments to me. We're using Brightspace a lot, but we're not going to post your answers into Brightspace. Just email the answers to me. And I will judge that 11:59 p.m. cutoff based on the timestamp on that email. So if you're trying to email this to me at 11:55 and there's an email connection problem at home or on campus and you can't get it in till 12:02, it's a day late. It just is. You should have turned it in. You should have tried earlier. That's why I'm saying don't wait till the last minute. 5 points off are taken for every calendar day are taken off for every calendar day or partial day that something's late. So the first, it's 2 minutes late, it's already 5 points off. The next day, then it'll be another 5 points off, kind of adding up. So please don't do that. Now, you can email it to me in a variety of forms, but it needs to be one of these three. I use Windows, so people will sometimes send me Mac files that won't open. It'll be images that just won't open. So it has to be a Word document, an Adobe file, or if you can't do those or you can't scan, you can take pictures with your cell phone and send me images of each page. People do that all the time. And then I just assemble them into the document. So one of those, Word documents, Adobe, or images. And again, images are fine. And I will just put that together. If you have questions on submitting, make sure you contact me, let me know. I'm happy to talk about it. Now, this policy of 11:59 is good. It's by the hair of your teeth, I guess. 12 o'clock, it's 5 points. I mean, that very clear policy kind of deadline may seem a little picky, but what I've done is I have built in enough time for everybody. For every assignment, I built in enough time. There is no reason to turn your assignments in late. I actually literally go through the schedule. I look at, well, when do I think you should be able to submit an assignment? And I pick a date in my head, and then I add typically another week at least to that. So everybody, I do this because inevitably there's students that if I just had normal kind of earlier deadlines, as an instructor, you're dealing with students. Some students are saying, look, I need some extra time. Can you not take off the points? Can I get a little extension without being penalized? And I'm stuck then weighing whose explanations are good, whose explanations are not. I'm going on a business trip versus I'm going on vacation versus my child's been sick, my dog's been sick, I've got a wedding, I've got a funeral, I've got a illness, whatever. So what I do is I just give everybody, for every assignment, extra time. Everybody gets extra time for every assignment. That's how I resolve it. So you'll notice the due dates are pushed back a fair bit. And it always makes me a little nervous because I don't want you to wait till the last minute. And I usually can still see there's students that will wait till the last minute. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to turn it in still a week or maybe 2 weeks before that. So that you can, or at least finish it so that you have time to, you're not at the last minute recognizing, wait a second, I don't understand this. And it's Friday night and I can't get hold of Craig to ask a question. So try to finish it at least a week in advance, so that if you have questions, you have time for us to talk about it. Okay. So if you turn it in late and you're saying, my computer was down, I just forgot, I was on the road, I got stuck in traffic, whatever, and it's again, even the campus is shut down, the network's crashed or something, and I couldn't send it in. My response will always be, that's why you should have submitted it a week ago. Don't wait till the last minute. So again, and you'll see, I push those dates back so everybody gets extra time, but don't wait till the last minute, please. It's painful for both of us. So turn them in, plan on completing the assignments at least a week in advance. If you want to contest the grading on a question, you can do that, but you need to give it to me in writing at least within a week of your submission. And just to point out, explaining why you got something wrong. It's because students will say, oh, look, and some will say, I know you're not going to give me the points, but I feel, I made this copy paste error. I just want you to know I knew what I was doing. I flipped some number. That's fine. If you want to reassure me that you know the material better, that's great. But I won't give you points because you can explain why you got something wrong. It needs to be a fundamental problem with the problem or with the answer. Okay. The other policies, the honor code, you guys should all know that by now. Incompletes, just want to kind of clarify for incompletes that in a nutshell, I don't give, and this is a university policy, I don't give incompletes simply because you want to avoid a bad grade. Incompletes are because with an incomplete, the way it's supposed to work, and I know some of my colleagues don't do it this way, but by policy, the way we're supposed to do is everything up until that point when you take the incomplete is part of your final grade. It doesn't get evaporated or disappear and you start over. No, everything up to the point where we say, let's do an incomplete is part of your final grade. You have to be passing at that point. If you're already failing, you can't get an incomplete. So everything up to that point is part of it goes into your final grade. And we kind of stop the clock then and you finish the course within a year after that. And we work out the details for how to do that. The idea for an incomplete, again, isn't that I've ran out of time. It isn't that I'm unhappy with the grade I've got. It's something's happened in life, and that happens. I do give incompletes at times. Something will happen in a student's life, and there's more important things than class, and they'll need to kind of step aside, and we'll work this out. If something is coming up or you see that something may be coming up, I encourage you to talk to me about it so that we can set that line at a good point in your progress in the course. If you wait till the end of the semester and then explain to me all these problems that came up, it's too late because the semester's already over and we can't, it's kind of when do we decide? So if things are going on, let's talk and figure out how's the best way for you to proceed for this semester. Okay. The check email check email, I just put this in just to be clear because it's kind of carry over the policy bit I put in all my syllabi. There's no office hours on campus this semester. It'll always be Zoom. So one, don't go to my office thinking I'm going to be there. I probably won't. I do go in a little bit, but I'm generally working remotely. And check your email. If I should be on office hours if something's come up. I'm a really busy person, and I deal with groups on the West Coast. So sometimes I'm working later into the evening. So I may need to shuffle office hour times around. So check email if something seems odd like that. Additional policies, there's the link to all of those university policies. And then here's our schedule. And as you can see kind of here, the schedule may change as the semester goes on. I might fiddle with the order, it just may change. So keep that in mind. I won't push any due dates sooner. Things may get dropped or pushed back or something, but nothing will ever get moved up at this point. And you can see, like here, the week of February 1st, we've covered chapters all the way through chapter 5, and that assignment is not due until the end of the week of the 29th. So it's like the first week of February, we're finishing material, but the assignment's not due to the end of the month. So again, kind of don't wait till the last minute. It's like, oh, we finished chapter 5. Try to get it done. The end of the next week would be awesome. And again, not that you even have to turn it in at that point, but at least you've done it and I think I've got everything except that question. And you can email me. We can talk on Zoom. You can come to office hours and I can explain that material to you again. Or you can talk it over with your study group. Okay? So that's our syllabus. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm try to be available. Email, again, though, is the best way to get hold of me. And if you're trying to get hold of me, I literally get close to 200 emails a day. So if you're trying to get hold of me and it's a couple days and you haven't heard back, email me again. It does not. I know some people get annoyed. I am not one of them. So, feel free to email me. Okay. That's our syllabus. And welcome to the class, and let's have a great semester together. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.